1990. This is Larry Kaplan. He has won 3 games, and in just a moment will face our ultimate challenge worth $60,000. And it all happens today on The Challengers. And now, here's your master of the challenge, Dick Clark.
Thank you. Oh, what a day this is going to be. How was your weekend?
Very studious.
I slept. I hope you did a lot of studying because this is the moment we've been waiting for, the $60,000 ultimate challenge. If you're ready. First step is to look through the video wall, Larry. There are going to be a couple of categories up there, and here they are. April in birth and U.S. President. Now, which one of these categories do you want to challenge?
This is a gimme. U.S. President.
U.S. President, all right? And I have 3 questions on U.S. President. The first one will be on Thomas Jefferson. The second one will be about Theodore Roosevelt. And the third, Ronald Reagan. Oh, you can face away from that now. You've seen all of that stuff. A couple of notes here. I'm going to ask you the 3 questions in the order of their difficulty. You'll have 5 seconds to consider your answer, then I'll call for the answer. And I came out and saw the folks before we went on the air. In the audience, please don't say anything. Don't talk to your neighbor. Don't breathe for a moment. Give the man all the concentration he can get, all right? I'll step over here. Your first question, it'll have 5 seconds. U.S. President, lesson dealing with Thomas Jefferson. The inscription that Thomas Jefferson chose for his grave marker lists the 3 achievements which he considered to be his greatest. The Declaration of Independence, the Statue for Religious Freedom, and the university which he established in his final years. Name that university.
University of Virginia.
You didn't even wait for the 5 seconds. You got it. All right. Now, Larry, you want to get all 3 in a row, and this time I'm going to ask you to take the pause, just think about it. This is about Theodore Roosevelt. In 1912, the former president, Theodore Roosevelt, made another run for the presidency with the Progressive Party. That party was popularly known by a term Roosevelt often used to describe himself. What was the popular name for that party? And take your 5 seconds. Your answer?
Communist.
You got it. Oh! Larry, 2 of the 3 questions are correct. You only need 1 more. It's worth $60,000. And audience, you know your part. Ronald Reagan. Last week, in his first visit to Moscow since the 1988 summit, former President Reagan made an historic speech to members of the national legislature of the Soviet Union. By what 2-word name do we know that national legislature? You have 5 seconds. For $60,000, Larry, what is your answer?
I think it's the Supreme Soviet.
I think you are right. Yes! Oh, that's good. That's really close. Oh! Congratulations. You did your work. Now, that's only part of the story. What you folks may not realize, you picked up $14,550, so that's a grand total of $74,550. Now, this is what we do, Larry. We're going to reset the ultimate challenge for $25,000. You know on the challenges we continue playing until you are defeated. Now, if you win 3 more times, you're going to come right back to the same spot and go for another ultimate challenge. I'm going to ask you to go back to your marker there. We'll introduce a couple of new players, and we'll be back to meet the challengers. Don't go away. Congratulations. That's the way a week of the challengers ought to start on a Monday, September 24th. Larry, did you have any doubt that you were going to win that?
I'm just glad you said, 2 words.
Oh, really?
I was very hooked on Politburo, and then when you said 2 words...
2 words, he gave it to you?
Yeah.
I was afraid you weren't going to use your 5 seconds every time because you jumped in with that first one. In any case, you got $74,550. And you can keep on going until you are defeated, and I hate to tell you, we've got a couple of people here who are going to try their very best to defeat you. Don, let's meet him.
Thank you, Dick. Here's the theater executive director, Andrea Laddick, and meet a program development manager, Steve Weisberg.
Andy and Steve and Larry, good luck to all of you. I'm going to reveal the categories for our first half of play in a second. We're going to play this little sprint round. By now, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. As you know, a lot of our questions in the sprint round and the rest of the game all come from the headlines, things you've heard on television and radio and so forth. And to start you off with each a stake of $200, let's pop that into everybody up there. Andrea, you got yours, Larry and Steve, okay? And we'll have the first selection from the category thing where the player gets the most money at the end of the sprint. Each of you have got a personal Citibank Visa account. The money you earn today will be deposited in your account. All the cash you earn, all the benefits in that account are yours to keep. Please set the timer for 1 minute. We will begin right now. Name the Disney cartoon released on home video last Friday. Larry?
Snow White.
No. Landria?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. It featured Captain Hook. Wait for the question. A large island in the Gulf of Alaska shares its name with a variety of brown bear. Name the island. Andrea?
Kodiak.
Correct. What automobile ads describe their car as engineered like no other car in the world? Steve?
Honda.
No. Andrea?
Mercedes-Benz.
Yes. On October 25th of this year, it'll be contender Evander Holyfield fighting who? Larry?
Buster Douglas.
That's right. I'll name 3 stars. You name the movie they're appearing in. Carol Kane, Catherine Brody, Larry?
The Lemon Sisters.
What did you say?
Said the Lemon.
The Lemon Sisters is right. It also stars Diane Keaton. In Russia, the slow pace of economic reform led a reported 30,000 Russians to march in protest in what Russian city? Moscow is the answer. Name the singer whose Billboard hot hits include Black Cats and Come Back to Me. Janet Jackson, and time is up. Where do we stand here? Andrea out in front with $500. Steve and Larry back there, and all of that can change. We're all set to play, and if you are ready, let's take a look at the categories in the first half of play. We have The Joy of Zack, Tunes, Rhyme Time, all about burgers today at the movies, and Legends of Legerdemain. And if you will, please, Andrea, make your choice.
I'd like tunes, please.
Tunes it is. For $150, the question regards friends. For 200 heroes and for 250 sidekicks. The higher the value, the more difficult it is. You get that little keypad. If you will, lock in your wager now. All right, 2 of you are going for the $150 question. Steve and Andrea will turn to you in a second. Larry, first off for $200. Who always came to Nell's rescue when she was tormented by the dastardly Snidely Whiplash? Hang in there, Steve. You're not in this question. This is for Larry.
Dudley Do Right.
Dudley Do Right is right. Now, Steve, time to put your hand on that buzzer. Mr. Anxious over there, ready? I can hear him thumping away, saying, I got it.
Well, Thumper was the answer.
Yeah. All right. For $250, in the popular animated show, who is the neighbor and best buddy of Fred Flintstone? Steve.
Barney Rubble.
You are right, sir. All right. Steve, you now have control of the game. Which one would you like?
Oh, let's go for All About Burgers, please.
All about burgers, all right? The first one is cheeseburgers for $150, 200 hamburgers, and Warren Burgers for $250. And people are locking in over there. Andrea and Steve will go for the one question on hamburgers. Put your hands up there on the little button and the $100, $200 question here. McDonald's hamburger queen, Joan Cross, sold a major... Steve, I hope you got it.
San Diego Padres.
You are jumping right in. She sold a major sports ad this past year for a reported $75 million. All right, for $250, Larry, you're by yourself. In 1986, Warren Burger retired as Chief Justice of the United States after 17 years in office. Name the man who replaced him as Chief Justice.
William Rehnquist.
You are right, sir, for $250. Larry has control. Larry?
Let's try Legends of Legerdemain.
All right, Legerdemain for $150. We have Merlin, another magician, Doug Henning, and Magic Johnson for $250. If you will place your wager, 2 of you going for the Magic Johnson question. We'll get there in a second, gentlemen. Let's turn to Andrea first for $150. According to the legend, Merlin the magician is the seer and advisor to what legendary king?
Arthur.
King Arthur is right. All right, gentlemen, for $250, the L.A. Lakers' Magic Johnson performs magic on the court. What's his real name? Larry.
Irvin.
Irvin is correct for $250. This is going to be a one hot race. Larry's out a little bit in front, but it'll all change in a second. We'll be back in a moment to play the second half of the game, and when we do, you know what happens. We're going to double the value of all of the questions. Don't go away. Thank you, Don Morrow. This is a good race, Larry. You got $1,000. Steve and Andrea neck and neck at $650 and $550 respectively, and we're ready to start the second half of play. Now, this is where it all changes usually because we double the value of all of the questions. These are the 6 categories we're going to be playing with. Professional golfers tour, famous streets. This week on the tube, on your marks, get set, aviation history, and the Aloha State. Larry, you've got control of the picking. Where do you want to start?
On the Hackers, let's go with Professional Golfers Tour.
Professional Golfers Tour. For $300, we have the Legend. For 4, it's the Lynx and the Lingo for $500. Higher the value, the more difficult the question, if you will, make your bet. All right, the two gentlemen will go for the Lingo question in a moment. We'll start with you, Andrea, at $300. Name the golfer you'd be following if you were walking along in a group known as Arnie's Army.
Arnold Palmer.
You got it for $300. Gentlemen, for $500, what's the golfing term used to describe a score of 1 under par? Steve?
A bogey.
No, sir. Larry, let me finish. What's the golfing term used to describe a score of 1 under par on a hole? You may or may not answer. You don't have to say.
Birdie.
Birdie is right. Okay. Larry, you've got the control of the board.
Let's try the Aloha State.
All right. For $300, we have flowers. For 4, it's politicians and landmarks for $500, if you will. Press your little button there and put in your... Oh, it's a 3-way race. Everybody going for the biggie, and everything doubles in value right away. Everybody's going to go for the $500 question here, which becomes $1,000 at this point. If you sweep the board, it's $2,400. More on that in a second. Everybody all set. If you're sunbathing on Waikiki Beach and you happen to look to the southeast, you'll see an extinct volcano. Larry?
What is Kilauea?
No, Steve.
Diamond Head.
Diamond Head is the right answer. You've got the opportunity now to sweep the board. Larry, you've got $500. Andrea has $950. Steve, you are in front. The good part about this, you can lengthen that lead, but the bad side is if you are wrong and you go ahead, you lose money. So how do you want to play this thing?
I think at this point in time, well, let's go with, what the heck, let's go with politicians for 800.
Politicians for a lot of money. All right. $800. One Hawaiian politician was the only senator to sit on both the Senate Watergate and Contragate committees. Name him.
S.I. Hayakawa.
No, sir. Daniel Inouye. I'm sorry, that's the danger. It puts you back from a lead to a trailing position, but there's the opposite side to put you way out in front. Let's see, I think you still control the game. Is that not true, folks? It is indeed.
Okay.
Steve?
We'll go with aviation history.
All right, aviation history. And we've got 1903, 1969, and 1927. Once again, place your wagers. All right, we've got 2 of you going for the $500 question. Andrea and Steve, hold on for a second. Larry will take the $400 one. Your name is Neil Armstrong. You and your buddies have just returned from the Sea of Tranquility, and now you're splashing down in what body of water?
Pacific Ocean.
You're right, sir, for $400. Andrea and Steve step up to the $500 challenge. People call you the Lone Eagle. You flew solo over the... Steve?
Charles Lindbergh.
No, sir. You jumped the gun. Hold for a second. We'll penalize you for that. Put you in a minus position. It does work to your advantage. Relax, Andrea. Take your hand off. You got it all by yourself. And you can elect to answer this if you want after the show. People call you the Lone Eagle. You flew solo over the Atlantic. And now you've touched down at an airfield outside of Paris. Name the airfield.
No, thank you.
That's the good part about waiting. Le Bourget was the answer. All right. Let's see now if Larry has the option here. What would you like?
On your marks, get set.
All right. For $300, we have racing people. For 4, racing horses, and racing autos for 5. Place your wagers. All right, gentlemen, we'll break the tie at $400 with you. For the $400 question, you'll go for both of you. The crown jewel in horse racing's Triple Crown is the Kentucky... Steve?
The Belmont and the Preakness.
No, sir. You anticipated the question. That's going to cost you again. You don't have to put your hand on the buzzer, Larry. The crown jewel in horse racing's Triple Crown is the Kentucky Derby. The race is run each year at what Kentucky racetrack?
Churchill Downs.
That is it. That's a tough break for your friend down there. Good break for you. That's the advantage of waiting. Andrea, you've got the $500 question. The track on which the Indianapolis 500 auto races run is 2.5 miles around. To win the race, a driver must circle that track how many times?
200.
You are right for $500. Andrea, you have control of the board. Which one of these last two would you like?
I'd like this week on the tube, please.
All right, let's take a look at it. For $300 CBS, for 4 ABC, and for 5 NBC. Place your wages. All right, two $500 questions, Steve and Andrea in a moment. Larry for $400. Tomorrow night, it's the season premiere of an ABC sitcom that stars the athletic actor Craig T. Nelson. Name the sitcom.
Coach.
You got it for $400. Step up to the $500 challenge, Andrea and Steve. This Thursday, Johnny Carson is celebrating his 28th anniversary on The Tonight Show. And for another year, we'll be hearing the show's theme song. Who wrote it? Andrea.
Paul Anka.
Paul Anka did indeed write it. Congratulations. Now, that sound tells us that we're about to move into our final challenge of the day. And, Steve, I hate to say bye-bye, but thank you, sir, very much. May we at least have a round of applause for a good guy who tried real hard. Thank you, Steve, very much. Now, in this round, you folks will be able to wager any or all of your monies into your account on one final question of your choice, and the player making the highest wager will get to answer that question if you're ready. The final challenge is Middle East. The crisis continues. Now, folks, we're going to post the odds on the questions. The higher the odds, the more difficult the question will be. These are the questions here. At even odds, we have the politicians. You can double your wager on the generals and triple it on the diplomatic decisions. Now, let me caution you. You're going to have 15 seconds to select your question, make your final wager of the day. Andrew, you have $1,950. Today, Larry has $1,700. We're playing with the money that you've got there, not the money that Larry has in the bank that's his always. And Andrea, that's your money, too. So it's the strategy that works now as to who wins this round. A lot at stake. Your own money. Wager carefully. Challenge is yours. Somebody asked me the other day, the money people play with on your show, is it theirs? I said, yes, on this show, that is your money. That's what makes this part so interesting. Andrea, you have $1,950. Larry, $1,700. It all revolves on the strategy. Now, Larry, of the $1,700 you have in the bank, what have you elected to do?
Dick, I've elected to go for all 1,700 on the diplomatic decision.
Wow. All right. It's triple the odds. Andrea, it's in your hands now. You've got a little bit more money. How are you going to play it?
I'm going 1705 on the generals.
All right. This is going to be one whale of a race, and it's going to change the whole complexion of the game, and we'll see what happens to both of you right after this. Don't go away.
Citibank's Visa account with all the distinct benefits and exclusive services that make it America's most widely used Visa card. And now, back to the final challenge, and your host, Dick Clark.
Well, Andrea and Larry, remember, you can do anything you want with the money in your account, including converting it into cash. We're ready to play the final challenge. The final challenge category is the Middle East crisis. And Andrea, you've won $1,950. You're going for $1,705 at double the odds. The grand total is $5,360, or the downside is $245. Considerable amount of difference there. So for $5,360, that's on the generals. Last week, Air Force Chief of Staff General Michael Dugan was relieved of his command after saying that Saddam Hussein would be a prime target if war breaks out. For $5,360, name that cabinet member who fired him.
Cheney?
You are right. Wow. Win, lose, draw, whatever. You got $5,360 in the bank. Now, Larry, the exchange here is you went for $1,700 or 3 times the odds. If you win, it's $6,800 or 0. That would mean Andrea would win. You'd still leave us with an awful lot of money. If you pull this off, you will have won in excess of $80,000. So there's a lot riding on it. Last week, Saudi Arabia's foreign minister signed a treaty re-establishing diplomatic ties with a country with which the Saudis have broken off relations more than 50 years ago. For $6,800, name that country.
Soviet Union.
You got it. Congratulations. Ah, beautifully done. Larry, you have $81,350 right now. Andrea, you're not a pauper by any means. You got $5,360. Now, this means we go with Larry until you don't win. If you win again tomorrow, you'll be meeting a couple of new players. Eventually, you could add another $26,000 to that on your way to the Ultimate Challenge. It's going to be an exciting Tuesday. We'll see you then. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
Some contestants today will receive Pledge, keeping furniture beautiful for over 30 years with no buildup. And with its touchable shine, smears just disappear. Introducing Jovan Musk Actives, a line of aftershaves and deodorants for the man on the go. Jovan Musk Actives for every day. And Palmolive dishwashing liquid, original or lemon lime, softens hands while you do dishes. And Hulk Hogan vitamins, all natural flavors and colors with beta-carotene and no cholesterol. Hulk Hogan knows vitamins used as directed. And Condition shampoos and styling products for beautiful, healthy-looking hair. Use Condition by Clairol. We take good care of your hair. This is Don Morrow speaking. The Challengers is a Ron Greenberg production in association with Dick Clark Productions.